Hi everyone, so if you're tuning in for the first time, my name's Marianne. I'm the owner and counsellor at Marianne Hanson Counselling Service. I specialise in working with couples and individuals in the areas of stress, anxiety, low self-esteem and relationships. And depression. And what I want to talk about is overcoming past abusive relationships. This is part of a series. Over the next few weeks I'm going to be uploading videos in this series. There's a total of 4 or 5 where it's looking at overcoming certain difficult areas in your life. So being in an abusive relationship can lead to factors that can cause a lot of trauma, because you have to think about the fact that it's not when you're actually in the relationship sometimes that the trauma is recognizable, because you're just getting through each day, you're just experiencing it. It's when you come out of the relationship that the trauma can show itself, and that can show itself in many forms. So it can be an example that you're in a new relationship and then you start to realize that you can't become intimate with that person, or you are very fearful, you twitch every time they come near you or try to hold you, or they do something that reminds you of what your abusive partner used to do, so you respond differently. There are so many things that can happen that you're not always aware of until you're in the new relationship or until you're single and you're trying to heal and work through things. So the first thing to do is to address and identify that it is trauma. Being in an abusive relationship is a traumatic event. So you have to deal with it in the same way as you would deal with if you've experienced a traumatic event, such as you've been in a serious car accident, or you've been a victim of a sexual assault, or a mugging, or a victim of crime. You have to think of it the same way. You know, it's going to take time. So the first thing is to recognize that you're also going to have insecurities, that there are probably going to be issues where you are dealing with issues with intimacy, where you are dealing with low self-esteem about yourself, because the person that you was in that abusive relationship has told you that you were no good, and told you that you deserved to be hit or to be spoke to badly or cheated on, or any of the things that happened to you. So I've got 4 things here, 5 things. I'm just going to read them because I don't want to sort of make these videos lengthier than they need to be. The first thing is to access counselling. Now, I put this for most things, and it's not because I'm a counsellor, because even before I was a counsellor, when I was working as a volunteer counsellor, being unpaid for 3 years at Women's Aid, which is a voluntary organisation that works with women who are victims of domestic violence, it was never really about me just promoting counselling for the sake of it. This is because I know counselling works. I know that having the ability to work through things that have caused you to be in a certain position in your life, that have caused you to hold certain beliefs, are really useful. I've accessed bereavement counselling myself, when even though I'm a counsellor, I still went to see another counsellor, because the feelings of loss were so great that I knew I needed someone. So it's about accessing counselling so that you can heal, so that you are entitled to talk about the feelings you have, whether that means you're angry with yourself or you're angry with your current partner, whether it means that you want to work through other emotions. The second thing is to think about the healing process. Take your time. Consider if you're ready to be in a relationship or whether you need to take time out. That is your decision. Certain people can't say to you, don't get into another relationship, you're not ready. At the same time, you might feel that you're not ready, or you might feel that you are, because you want to prove that you can have a loving relationship. It's up to you, but think about what it is that's you need to heal. The third thing is to trust that you can be happy, you can be in a loving relationship. It's not your fault what happened to you. It's not your fault that this abusive relationship occurred. I hold the belief that people need to take accountability for their own actions. They can't say, well, you stayed in this relationship with this person who beat you, so it's your fault. Well, no, how about it's the person who was beating you, their fault for doing that in the first place? You know, so it's not about beating yourself up and being harsh on yourself. It is about saying that I can be happy, I can be in a loving relationship, I deserve that, and I won't tolerate anything less. The fourth thing is consider writing a closure letter. This is something that I've recommended to some of my clients I've worked with, and that's where you write a letter. You can either write the letter to yourself or to the abuser, but you're then going to rip it up. So the letter could be a forgiveness letter to yourself, which gives you closure. I'm no longer in this relationship anymore. I'm not going to spend every day talking about why I didn't leave. I'm not going to beat myself up. I'm not going to take on board any of the things that this person said about me. Or to the abuser, you know, you don't own me anymore. You have no power over me. I'm not going to think about you. I'm not going to give you my energy. And then you just rip the letter up because it's a closure letter. You're not sending it to anyone. And the fifth thing is take time, cry if you need to. Don't live in the past, live in the present moment. Say to yourself, I'm a human being. This is going to take time. Whether it's grief that you've gone through, whether it's bullying. I've been through grief, I've been through bullying, I've been through, you know, struggling with my own self-esteem. I've had to do personal development work before I became a counsellor. I've been through things myself, but I live in the moment. I don't say, well, 10 years ago you did this, or 5 years ago you ended this relationship, or 3 years ago you did A, B and C. It's pointless, it's meaningless. And I'm not saying that it's easy to overcome any situation you've been in, but working with a counsellor, you can do that. But also you need to forgive yourself and you need to live in the present. So if you want to share this video with anyone, then feel free to do that. If you want to find out about making a referral to me, please go to my Facebook page, Marianne Hanson Counselling Service, or send me a message on here. Please leave your comments. We can all probably learn from each other sometimes when we're watching these videos. And thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye.